If I ask you, where are you? Where are you situated? Like we're wearing this body, but it's like, where are you? Right? Who are you? And where are you? Sometimes people think, I'm my mind, right? Or I'm my brain. Most people would touch their heart and go, I'm in the heart. That's where our feelings come from. And scientists understand that that's where all the energy in the body comes from the heart. But you're not stuck in your heart. You could actually have a baboon heart, a transplant, and you would still feel you, because the spirit soul is so small, is so finite, that you're not bound by the material heart. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes, or it's a Mundaka Upanishad, I'm not sure, describes that the spirit soul is like 1/10,000th of a tip of a hair. In other words, can't measure it. So small, so small. So we are situated within the heart, and the energy coming from us permeates the entire body. So we should, and read a quote by my spiritual teacher, and he said, you exist, you will always exist, you are the eternal spark of life, only temporarily in this mortal frame. Your body will die, but you will never die. If you realize your eternal spiritual nature, you must seek out your eternal needs and your eternal interests. You begin to consider the need for an eternal home, and even more important, the need for an eternal friend and beloved. So with our temporary body, with our material eyes, we can't see each other. We just see bodies, but we can tell somebody's in there, right? So we can't see each other, and we can't actually see ourselves. And with these material eyes, we can't see God either. And so how are we going to have our vision cleared so that we can see? So that our eyes that are made of basically water and the element earth, that's all they can see, because that's what they're made of, right? So how are we able to see, really see each other, ourselves, and how are we able to see God? So with the modern technology has made it possible to extend the range of the senses, but the senses alone cannot know everything about God. They're limited. And so we're left with our mind, our imagination, trying to understand, well, am I like a light ray, or am I just an energy? Am I the same as everybody else? Is everything all one? Or is there a distinction between you and me and God? And definitely I'm not God. Otherwise I'd make my life really easy and really fun. But we're trapped in this material body. We're not God, we're not the Supreme. We, you know, how many times you've just set a traffic light and there's no other cars coming and it's red and you have to sit there And some of them, some traffic lights in smaller intersections, or it's a smaller side road, you can sit there for like 4 minutes and nobody coming the other way, and you have to sit there because it's a red light. So we're obviously not in control, we're obviously not God. And to be able to re-establish or come to know that Supreme Person, that Supreme Friend, the only way we're going to know is to be introduced by somebody who already has that relationship. And so it's important that we very humbly and sincerely pray for guidance, for direction, to be able to be led in such a way that we will come to know who we really are and our Supreme Friend, the Supreme Person. And every spiritual tradition, every old culture, there's always the recognition of a supreme power, somebody who's above us, somebody who's ultimately controlling everything. And the great spiritual teachers come and they encourage us. You know, this world's not your home, this body's not you. Come to seek out your real interests, your real nature, so that when you see someone else, you actually see them, the spirit soul. You're not just seeing bodies. Our society's become so, well, it's probably always been like it, but even more so now, it's like so body conscious, right? Like the Instagramming thing, you know, look at me, look at me, look at me, right? But it's not me. It's just a suit of clothes that I've got. You know? And it's not, you know, even if it looks good when you're younger, it's not going to look so good by the time you're 90, you know? Unless you've got incredible genetics. And you know, we won't be there with the Instagram going, look at me, you know, when we're 80 or 90, right? Because we're going to look and we go, that's not me. I don't feel like that, you know. So it's important we actually come to know our true nature. I was reading the other day, someone I can't remember, she's famous, but I can't remember her name. She used to be a famous model a while back, and she'd, you know, like figuring I'm the body, and you know I'm going to find my happiness if other people look at me and adore me, and you know the body starts changing over time and gets a few, you know, little soft wobbly spots and stuff. So she went for fat freezing. Right? Anyway, apparently 1 in 400, it has the opposite effect. So it didn't reduce the fat, it froze it and made it hard and lumpy, and I think painful as well. And so in these spots where she tried to reduce the fat were these hard lumps. And so she hid away from everybody. She didn't want to be seen anymore because she identified, this is me, you know, and people are not going to like me anymore. They're not going to want to be around me anymore. You know, and she finally figured, you know, this is not going to work, just hiding away, you know. But it's just like so sad, you know, they've put our energy and everything into, you know, trying to make the body look good in some way, and then have really shallow kind of relationships that are all just based on whether it looks good or not, you know. It's just a thin layer of skin, you know. We need to search out and come to know who we really are, and to have that fulfillment and that peace and the confidence and the security that we all need. We can't get that from another person. That is an internal spiritual need of the soul. It's a soul craving and needing a loving relationship, and unconditional, totally accepting relationship with the Supreme Person, who loves us regardless if we've got frozen fat lumps around, or flabby fat lumps around, right? You know, or our nose is out of place, or whatever, you know, or we're good at something or not good at something. You know, we all need a relationship. We need to seek out that relationship. And a really easy way is by having our heart and mind purified by the chanting. These sacred mantras or names of the Supreme Person, they actually touch our heart and they purify, they get rid of all those layers of conditioning that's making us think that we're this body when we're not. You know, we're the person inside. And they will help to uncover our true nature and our eternal relationship with our Supreme Friend. They're just magical, that these sound, when you first hear them, it's like, yeah, they're kind of different. You know, these words are a bit different, but they have full spiritual potency to actually touch us and cleanse away all the layers so we can know our true nature. Thank you.